Lessons in antitrust, game economics, and bankruptcy in the news today.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by UKG, an HR payroll and workforce management solution designed to help make a fairy tale workplace a reality. UKG, our purpose is people. And by C3 AI. C3 Generative AI provides ChatGPT enterprise search that is verifiable, secure, and accurate across all enterprise data. C3.ai. This is Enterprise AI.
I'm David Brancaccio. Good morning to you. A famous private equity firm, KKR, is buying the publisher Simon & Schuster. The Paramount Media conglomerate has agreed to sell the 99-year-old firm for $1.6 billion. Penguin had tried to buy Simon & Schuster, but the government said that would hurt competition. Marketplace's Samantha Fields reports.
Simon & Schuster is one of the biggest book publishers in the country, along with Penguin Random House, HarperCollins, Hachette, and Macmillan. It's been doing well in the last couple of years. Its sale to KKR is subject to government approval, but is not likely to raise the same kind of antitrust concerns as the Penguin Random House deal. KKR has bought other book-focused companies in recent years, including Overdrive, a digital distributor that a lot of libraries use, and the audiobook company RB Media, which it just sold. If this deal goes through, employees at Simon & Schuster will get equity in the company, which is rare in publishing. KKR says there will be no layoffs and that Simon & Schuster will retain editorial independence. I'm Samantha Fields for Marketplace.
A powerful financial player has launched its own digital currency. It's called PayPal USD, which tells you which company. It's designed not to fluctuate the Bitcoin way. One PayPal USD equals $1 if all goes well. They call these stable coins. PayPal says these will lower the cost of paying for things and will use technology, the blockchain, which makes it hard to fake or otherwise manipulate transactions. One sector watching PayPal USD is the massive video game industry, which is larger than movies and music combined. This is because virtual economies inside games have become real economies. Joost van Druynen, a professor at the Stern School of Business at New York University, watches this.
Repeatedly, I would get questions from executives and publishers saying, like, why would people spend real world money on digital coins to buy virtual goods inside of a game environment? 15 years ago, that seemed like a weird fantasy, but gaming, as we now know, has grown into this $300 billion a year industry, and a large part of that has the growth really comes from people's ability to customize, personalize, and use digital currency to do that.
A stable, regulated cryptocurrency like this could make it more reliable for players to pay for things inside games, either to the game companies or to each other, which fits with the evolving business model for games.
Gaming has changed from a physical business where you buy a cartridge at retail to a digital service where you create an account and you spend money in an ongoing basis, right? So they look to upsell you constantly on items, on experiences, on expansions, and so on. The front end of that is, of course, this narrative of look at all this content that we have for you. The back end is let's make sure that everybody that wants to pay can. And that's where I think cryptocurrency and stable coins can play a role.
NYU's Van Druynen is also author of One Up, Creativity, Competition, and the Global Business of Video Games. You can also hear him as part of our series Skin in the Game as we explore economics and careers using video games. Stocks today pointed down. S&P Dow and NASDAQ futures all down in the 5 to 0.6% range.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Glassdoor. Beyond workplace reviews, Glassdoor now offers anonymous talk about careers, salaries, and work life. Professionals swap stories with coworkers and industry insiders who've been there, done that. Find your work people on the new Glassdoor app. And by Amazon Business, helping provide a smarter, easier way to get the supplies businesses need to thrive. Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying. And by Charles Schwab. The people at Schwab are passionate about helping investors. Learn more at schwab.com/whyschwab.
The venerable trucking company Yellow is kaput, bankrupt. 30,000 employees, mostly truckers, will have to find other work. Now, this is a boon for rival freight companies that can get the business and possibly raise prices, but a headache for the supply chain. Eric Gordon is a professor at the University of Michigan's Ross School of Business and a student of bankruptcy law. Hey, Eric.
Hello, David.
I mean, there's bankruptcy and there's bankruptcy. This is not just a bid to reorganize to get back going. This looks like the end.
Yeah, I think this is the end, my friend. I mean, this is a company that sort of stumbled along, got that huge amount of loans from the government, still can't seem to make things work. So they're doing something kind of interesting. They're using the reorganization provision of the bankruptcy law to do a nice, slow, orderly liquidation. But there's going to be no yellow freight.
There is going to be no yellow freight. So why then would you imagine that, knowing this was brewing, we had reported on it last week, many others, that some people bought up the stock last week and the stock went up with this impending disaster unfolding?
Doesn't seem to make much sense. But there are some people who are willing to speculate. They're willing to buy the stock when it's really beaten down because people are expecting bankruptcy, and they cross their fingers and they hope that, wow, if the company doesn't go bankrupt or there's enough left over, I can make a lot of money because I bought it so cheaply. And then there are the memesters, the people who showed up to save GameStop and to save AMC, and they're just having fun. But some of it's just, speculation.
You mentioned memesters. Also central to this story are the Teamsters, the truckers union. The company's point of view here is that the union was too tough. That's why the company's going out of business. Is that how you read this, Eric?
Yeah, the Teamsters' view is that they had already done some givebacks, that the company got all of this government money and still couldn't make it work. And this company's been in trouble for like 10 years. And I think the Teamsters got to the point where they just said, look, our givebacks won't save this company. It's unsavable. It's cooked. It's done.
Government money. They had gotten, about $700 million from the government at one point.
Yeah, they got $700 million. They actually used about 300 of that, on the Teamsters for their welfare and benefit fund. And then they used about 400 to go out and buy all these tractor trailers, which are now sitting parked somewhere.
Eric Gordon, a professor at the University of Michigan's Ross School of Business. Thank you for helping us with this.
My pleasure, David.
And in New York, I'm David Brancaccio. It's the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.